Thanks for clicking on this video. My name's Sauciata, and I make Pokemon ROM hacks. In this video, I'm working on my current hack, which is called Mythic Silver, which is a hack where you only can get legendaries from all generations of Pokemon. I'm also completely re-scripting and remapping the entire game, and this is just one area where I'm completely remapping from scratch. So this area is right above Goldenrod City, sort of near where the Sudowoodo is, if you've ever played those Gen 2 or our Gold and SoulSilver games. The idea I have for this is I want this forest to be some sort of a maze, and it's going to be using a Gen 5 tile set that some people in the community made. And so there's lots of really cool pieces of this tile set that I'm going to showcase here, such as some humps in the ground that serve as bridges and tunnels, different colored trees, different style of trees, and different grotto entrances that are actually going to act as warps. So you notice I put down a couple grotto entrances already, and they're going to warp you to other places in this same map. And so the maze is going to be a combination of trees and other objects. So the first thing I did was put all these trees down to get a general idea of how I want the maze to look, and now I'm going to start replacing some of them with other objects, such as fences, ponds, and other sorts of tree logs that you can actually walk inside. And over here, I'm making this little gardeny sort of farm vibe with some hay bales and some carts, and I'm going to have an NPC over here, which I think is going to give you some items or give you a gift Pokemon that gives you foresty vibes, something along that nature. And so here I'm adding the entrances to the top and the bottom. So one of them is going to lead you to the National Park, and the other one's going to lead you to Goldenrod City. The nice part about this is that it can all use a unique tile set because there are two gates on either side, which means that this the area data will not get messed up when you are actually playing the game. And here I'm trying to add some verticality. I'm trying to figure out how I want to orient this little hump that I was talking about in the ground. So this is going to be a fun little place where you can climb up this mini hill, and you're going to eventually jump off and go through the tunnel to get to that grotto entrance that I was talking about earlier. I really enjoy mapped verticality because it makes the game feel a little more alive and less like the vanilla version, which honestly is very two-dimensional. If you didn't know, these games are actually 3D and they have 3D models, but sometimes you wouldn't know that because, well, there's a lot of 2D in Pokemon games, let's put it that way. And so now that I have the basic outline done, I want to start adding decorations. Typically, I add grass in different places so that you can get your encounters whenever you like, and I can add some ponds so you can go fishing to get water Pokemon. And I also want to make this entrance place look like a logging center, and you'll see more of that near the end of this video. So here I'm adding this some decorations to the water. I'm also making this log that you're going to actually go walk through on top of that hill, and you can jump off. I'm also adding some jumps so that you can climb up some places and have monodirectional feels to the map so that you can only go one way in some areas. Again, I'm still replacing some trees here with other things like ponds. I want to make this feel as natural as possible with slight human intervention. So there's a place where people have been logging stuff, and there's a place where people have been farming a little bit, and mostly it is an unexplored area for the player to take a look at. Now, a big challenge here was the amount of polygons that the maps had, and if you've ever made a map before, you'll know that you have a limit of 1,200 polygons, and there were some parts of the map that were pretty polygon heavy, and I had to go back and reiterate on them a couple times. I really like the way these fences look. They give a lot of really good 3D feel to the game, rather than a lot of fences which are just 2D snapshots of a top-down view on the fences. So here I am redoing again one of their humps. You can climb up here, and there's going to be some place, you can see there's a little tunnel underneath that you have to walk through. So rather than just being an up, down, left, right sort of maze, there's also an aspect of, oh, I can go through an area that I was already in, but in a different way. So here I am adding a little bit more grass. I want to make it feel very alive as a forest, so lots of different textures, lots of things for the eye to look at so it's not boring. And you'll notice in the middle, there's different colored trees, and the idea for that is there's going to be a event there where there's a boss fight, but also it's to orient the player so they can figure out where they are in this maze, since the player will actually be zoomed in on quite a lot more than this camera would show you, and so it's going to be pretty easy to get lost. And if you've been paying attention, you might notice that it's pretty easy just to walk straight through this forest without dealing with the maze very much, but there will be NPCs in the way that prevent that from happening and force you to go a certain direction. So here is one last look at the forest that I made, and I really hope you enjoy this video. This took about almost 2 hours to make, and only about 5 minutes to watch, so I will be going over more of these in the future. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another time-lapse video.